Hello students, welcome to the e-learning session of Social Science Standard 8. Today we are going to discuss the 8th chapter of Social Science, Role of Parliament in a Democratic Country. So here in this chapter we are going to discuss what is the meaning of a democratic country, what is the meaning of parliament, how the parliament is formed, who are the members in the parliament, what are the functions of the parliament. All these points we are going to discuss in detail. So first we will discuss about the forms of the government, that how many forms of the government are there. So there are basically two forms of government, monarchical government and democratic government. Monarchical government means what? That here the power lies in the hands of the king or the queen. They are the head of the country and their post is hereditary post. Hereditary post means what? The son of the king will become the next king or the ruler. Elections does not take place. It is passed on hereditary to the next generation. So from generation to generation the kings are appointed. Whereas in the democratic form of government we have two, presidential form of government and parliamentary type of government. So presidential form of government means what? Here the head of the country is the president. Whatever decisions are taken by the president will be the final decisions. He is the head of the government as well as the country. But in the parliamentary form of government there are again two types, unitary government and federal state. Unitary government means what? It is called central government, where all the decisions are taken by the central government for the whole country. Whereas in the federal state there are different levels, like local level government, then state level government and then central level government. So the different levels are there. And in India we have federal type of government. So our country is a parliamentary democratic country and we have federal state, that is we have different levels of the government. Now what is the most important characteristics of a democracy? That the most important characteristic of a democracy is that the sole power or the power to rule the country is not in the hands of one person or a group of people. What does it mean? That a single person is not ruling the country. The power is not in the hands of single person. Every citizen is a member in the decision making process. In our country, we all the citizens are included for taking any kind of decision for our country. People themselves are the creators of their destiny. People themselves are the creator of their destiny means what? That we people only give the vote and elect our representative, and the representative will work for the welfare of our country, for the people, for us. So that is why it is said that the people themselves, they are the creators of their destiny. Now the word for democracy in Gujarati is Lokashahi. Lokashahi means what? Lok means people and Shahi means ruler. So Lokashahi means the people themselves are the rulers of the country. Democratic government is for the people. It means for the welfare of the people is the main aim of the government. So the main aim of the democratic form of government is that it always work for the welfare of the people or the welfare of the people living in that particular country. Now here you can see the image of our Indian Parliament. So what does the Parliament consist of? Now the Parliament of India consists of the President, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Now we will discuss all of them in detail. First we will discuss how is the Parliament formed. So India has adopted parliamentary form of democracy. The Parliament is the supreme institution in India. The Parliament of India consists of the President and the two houses, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is also known as lower house and Rajya Sabha is known as upper house, that you have already learnt in 7th standard also. Now in Lok Sabha there are total 545 members. Out of that 26 seats are for Gujarat state, and in Rajya Sabha there are total 250 members, out of which 11 seats are for Gujarat. Now we see the difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha is also known as the lower house. Maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 552 members. Out of that, 530 members from the states, 20 members are from the union territories, 2 members are from the Anglo-Indian community, which is nominated by the president, and whereas in the upper house the maximum number of seats are 250. 238 seats are selected by the state and union territories, and 12 members are nominated by the president. In the Lok Sabha, the presiding officer is called the speaker, and whereas in the Rajya Sabha it is presided by the chairman. Who is the chairman? Chairman is the vice president of the country. So the chairman of the Rajya Sabha is the vice president of the country. The term of Lok Sabha is for 5 years. After 5 years, all the members are terminated, and then new election process takes place and new members are appointed. Whereas in Rajya Sabha, the members are elected for 6 years. It is a permanent house. 1/3 of its members retire after every 2 years. Now let's see what are the functions of the parliament. So basically there are 2 main functions of the parliament. What are the functions? First function is to control the government and to provide information and guidance to it. To control the government means what? The main work of the parliament is to see, to check that the government is working properly or not, and it provides the information and guidance about it. And the second function is to make laws and make amendments in them. If any law is to be implemented in the country, so first it will be discussed in the parliament, and after that it will be implemented as a law. And amendment means what? To make any changes. If you want to make any changes in the law, then it can be done only in the parliament. Now we will see about the Lok Sabha, that how Lok Sabha is formed. So the elections for the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly are conducted in the same way. Lok Sabha elections are held in every 5 years. Each constituency is represented by one elected member in the parliament. The candidates who contest for the seat in the parliament are usually active in the various political parties. The elected candidate is known as the member of parliament or MP. All these elected members collectively form the Lok Sabha. So what is the process for the election of Lok Sabha? That the whole country, our country India, is divided into different constituencies. Constituencies means what? Areas or wards. Then from each constituency one member will be there and elections will take place. So from different parties one representative will be there, and whichever representative will get maximum number of votes will become the member of parliament. Now next is how is Rajya Sabha formed. So the elected members of the legislative assembly of each state elect member for Rajya Sabha. So the elections of Lok Sabha are direct elections. That means there directly the people give the vote and the members of the Lok Sabha are elected. But in Rajya Sabha it is indirect method. So election takes place indirectly in Rajya Sabha. That the elected members of the legislative assembly, they will give the vote, not the general people, only the members who are in the legislative assembly, they will give the vote and elect the members for Rajya Sabha. The 250 members in the Rajya Sabha, out of them 238 are elected and the remaining 12 members are nominated by the President of India. So 238 members are elected by the members of the Legislative Assembly, whereas 12 members are appointed directly by the President. So who are these 12 members? These 12 members are such people who are very famous in one or the other field. Either they are scientists, they are astronomers, they are celebrities, some social workers, writers, poets, all these people who have given some contribution for the development of the country, then such kind of people are elected directly by the president as the member of Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is the permanent house. Now why Rajya Sabha is called a permanent house? Earlier I told you that Lok Sabha is a temporary house. Why? Because after every 5 years elections have to be done and new members are appointed in Lok Sabha. But Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. Why it is permanent house? Because it never gets dissolved completely. It never gets dissolved completely means what? That 1/3 of the members of the Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years. That means after completing their 6 years term and the new members are inducted. So after completion of 2 years, every 2 years, 1/3 of the members they retire and the new members are appointed in their place. So completely all the 250 members never retire together. Only 1/3 part of the member retire and 1/3 will be appointed again. In this way, one member can complete a term of 6 years and then the new members are elected. The Rajya Sabha represents the states of our country. The Rajya Sabha also can propose a bill. Now, here it is important to have the consent of the Rajya Sabha before passing any bill. What is a bill? That bill means what? That if any amendment is to be done, any work is to be done, any development is to be done, then first it is discussed in Lok Sabha and then it goes to Rajya Sabha for the discussion. So whatever decision is to be taken, that is to be compulsorily discussed in the Rajya Sabha. This house of the parliament reviews the bill passed by the Lok Sabha. Thus, the role of Rajya Sabha is very important and the person who presides over the sessions of the Rajya Sabha is known as the chairman. And who is the chairman? Chairman is the vice president of the country. So, the vice president of the country and the chairman of the Rajya Sabha are the same people. So, the vice president of India acts as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now, how is the ruling party formed? We have seen that for elections of Lok Sabha, the whole country is divided into different constituencies and from that elections are done and whichever representative or whichever political party will get maximum vote, that political party will become the ruling party. So, how is the ruling party formed? So, after the elections of Lok Sabha, party-wise list of the members of the parliament is formed. From this list, it becomes clear that how many members from which political parties are there, and if any party wants to form the government, then there should be the majority of elected members from that party. So, after the Lok Sabha elections, a list is prepared that which member of which political party has secured maximum votes. And that party, that political party whose members have got maximum number of votes will be invited to form the ruling party. And that party will rule the country. And the head of that political party will be appointed as the Prime Minister of the country. So, Prime Minister of India is the head of the ruling party. So, basically there are two types of party. One is ruling party and the other one is opposition party. So, the party which has got maximum number of votes is called a ruling party who will form the government and the remaining parties will be in the opposition party. So, how is the Council of Ministers formed? Now, once the elections are done and the Prime Minister is appointed, after that the Prime Minister selects the ministers from the members of his party. In this way, the Council of Ministers is formed. So, the Prime Minister will elect out of the members, whoever members are there in his political party. From them, the Prime Minister will elect the members and these members will be known as the Council of Ministers. The ministers with the Prime Minister take all the decisions. These ministers take care of the responsibilities of the work related to the respective ministries such as health, education, finance, etc. Different departments are there, isn't it? Health minister is there, education minister is there, railway minister is there, textile minister is there, education minister is there, finance minister is there. So different kinds of ministers are there. All these ministers are the members of the Council of Ministers. They are appointed, they are elected by the Prime Minister. Each minister is responsible for any questions related to his ministry to the member of Parliament. In the Parliament there is joint session of the ruling party as well as of the opposition party. So this Council of Ministers, they are responsible for the various department of which he or she has been given the duty. They are the head of that particular department. So they are answerable to the members of the Parliament to whatever questions have been asked to them. Now this is very important, question hour. Now what is the meaning of question hour? That whenever the Parliament is in the session, that means whenever there is a meeting in the Parliament, at that time the first hour of the session is called the question hour. So when the Parliament is in session at the beginning of the day, the time for the question hour is decided upon. So generally they decide that 1 hour will be the question hour or 2 hour will be the question hour. So during this question hour time, what happens? During this question hour time, the members of the Parliament ask the questions to get information on the working of the government. That ruling party is the government. So what work they are doing for the development of the country, that will be asked by the member of Parliament to the ruling party. This is how the Parliament controls the executive part. Through the medium of questioning, the members draw the attention of the government towards the loopholes. Loopholes means what? Suppose if the government which is ruling the country is not doing the work properly, then the opposition party members or the members of the Parliament, they will draw their attention, they will ask them the questions, if this particular work is not proper, or how much work has been completed in this particular field, how much development we have done for the progress of the country. All these questions will be asked in the Parliament. In this way, the government comes to know about the views and opinions of the people through their representatives. It is an important responsibility of the members to question the government. Now the members of Parliament, it is their duty to ask the government that what work they are doing. Simply they cannot go and sit in the Parliament. The opposition party plays a major role in the effective administration of a democracy. It highlights the loopholes in the policies and the programs of the government. The person who presides over the session in the Lok Sabha is known as the speaker. So in the Lok Sabha, if you get, sometimes you get the time, you watch the television, in that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha separate channels are coming. In that you can see the sessions, the live sessions also of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, how they do the discussion, how the opposition party asks the questions to the government, how the members, Council of Ministers are giving the reply, and how the speaker is asking them to maintain the discipline. So the speaker is the person who will preside in the sessions of the Lok Sabha. So don't forget that speaker presides in the sessions of Lok Sabha and chairman presides in the sessions of Rajya Sabha. Now what is the role of president of a country? Because prime minister is head of the ruling party, so he is the head of the government basically. So who is the president? What is his role? So president is the most important and integral part of the Parliament. A bill that is passed by both the houses can become a law only after his signature. So what is the main role of president? That any bill, before it becomes a law, it is to be signed by the president. So totally, basically a bill passes through 3 readings. First it is discussed in the Lok Sabha, then it goes to the Rajya Sabha, and then it goes to the president for his signature. After the president signs the bill, then only it can be changed into a law. If the president don't sign the bill, then it cannot be implemented as a law. He has the power to decide about the meetings of the Parliament and announce the completions of the sessions too. So president is the main integral part of the Parliament. He has got maximum powers in the Parliament. Now we'll see what is the difference between a bill and a law. As I said earlier that a bill passes through 3 readings. So a bill is the draft of the proposal. Law, it is introduced in the parliament for making law. When a bill is passed by both the houses and it receives the assent of the president, then it becomes a law. So before the sign of the president, it is only a bill, but only after the president signs it, it becomes a law. So whatever laws are implemented, first it passes in the form of a bill through 3 readings. Then after the completion of the 3 readings, after receiving the sign of the president, it becomes a law. Now this is your homework, students. You have to find out the names of the present President of India, present Prime Minister of India, present Vice President of India, present Speaker of Lok Sabha, present Chairman of Rajya Sabha, and present Chief Minister of Gujarat. All these 6 answers you have to find out and write it in your textbook wherever you find the blank space, and you have to remember the names also. Okay, I hope you have understood the chapter clearly. Read the textbook properly and complete the work in the workbook also. Thank you and have a nice day.
Now first of all we will discuss the term Parliament. Indian Parliament is the apex legislative body which aims at formulating laws for the country. As India follows a bicameral structure of government, the parliamentary system comprises of the President and the 2 houses, that is Lok Sabha, also known as lower house, and Rajya Sabha, also known as upper house. Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, as its name suggests, is the house of people and the lower chamber of the bicameral government. Lok Sabha is the people's representative body wherein the members are elected directly by the people according to universal adult suffrage and first past the post system, wherein the people cast their votes to the candidate of their choice and the one getting highest number of votes win. The total collective strength of Lok Sabha is 552 members, out of which 530 members represent states, 20 members represent union territories, and 2 members are nominated by the President to represent Anglo-Indian community. On the basis of population, the entire country is divided into various constituencies and one candidate is elected from each constituency. Basically, the term of Lok Sabha is 5 years, but it can be dissolved earlier by the President. Moreover, its term can be extended for 1 year in case of emergency. Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the Parliament. It is also known as Council of States, which is a permanent body. The maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250 members, out of which 238 members represent state and union territory, and 12 members are nominated by the President from the field of literature, science, commerce, arts, social service, etc. The members of Rajya Sabha are elected for a period of 6 years. However, 1/3 of its members retire in every 2 years. The members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of State Legislative Assembly as per proportional representation system by single transferable vote. Difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Meaning, Lok Sabha is the lower house of the Parliament which comprises of members representing people of the country. On the other hand, Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the Parliament whose member represents states and union territories. The members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people according to universal adult suffrage and first past the post system. On the other hand, the members of Rajya Sabha are indirectly elected by the members of a state legislative assembly as per proportional representation system. Next. While Lok Sabha is a temporary body because it is elected for 5 years only, and Rajya Sabha is a permanent one. Next, the maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 552 members, wherein 530 members represent states, 20 represent union territories, and 2 represent Anglo-Indian community. On the other hand, the maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250 members, out of which 238 members represent states and union territory, while the rest of them are nominated by the President from different fields. The presiding officer in case of Lok Sabha is the Speaker, who is elected amongst the members of the Lok Sabha, as against the presiding officer in case of Rajya Sabha is known as Chairman, who is the Vice President of the country. The minimum age for becoming a member of Lok Sabha is 25 years, whereas to become a member of Rajya Sabha, one has to attain the age of 30 years. When it comes to power, Lok Sabha has the power to pass no confidence motion, which when done, the Council of Ministers has to resign. On the other hand, Rajya Sabha has no such power. Next, when it comes to money bill, the money bill cannot be introduced in the Rajya Sabha. It can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. Moreover, all the power with respect to money bill lies in the hands of Lok Sabha only. Next, in case of deadlock situation, the joint sitting is announced by the President, in which the Speaker of the Lok Sabha presides over the joint sitting, whereas the Chairman does not preside over the joint session. Next, when it comes to retirement, the Lok Sabha members are appointed for a period of 5 years, but 1/3 members of the Rajya Sabha retire in every second year.